welcome you once again to today's podcast. I'm sure like you are excited like every time whenever we come back to Celeb Talk 1.0, you always want to see that how the new speakers and the thought leaders can really bring a transformation to our life. And like every time, we have brought a new essence of knowledge and insight from one of our special speaker today, Mr. Feruz Akbarov. Mr. Feruz is a wonderful personality who has got a lot of experience in English teaching. He is a TESOL, he is an expert who is having a lot of global awards behind him. And I'm sure we would also request Mr. Feruz to take us through his vivid background so that we can come to know about his experience. But before that, I think I should tell our viewers today that what we are going to discuss and what is important and why actually we want to organize this talk show today. We all know that artificial intelligence is our present today. It is no more a future. It's time for us to sensitize ourselves and understand from personalities like Firas who will tell us that why exactly we should not fear AI and how exactly we can make a friendly companion like artificial intelligence, how we can really go on in this journey of blending AI with our knowledge. So Firas, welcome you to Celeb Talk 1.0.
Thank you very much, Dr. Das. It's a great privilege to be part of your podcast. And I have come here with my global know-how and humble expertise that I've gained throughout all those countries that I've been to, where I traveled, I taught, I was educated, and I did some training course as part of my TESOL career in Poland, Krakow. So I'm Feruz Akbarov, ladies and gentlemen. I'm an established TESOL specialist with 16 plus years of teaching experience in countries like Poland, Uzbekistan, China, and I've been doing a lot of TESOL presentations in a number of countries like Tajikistan, United Arab Emirates, Nepal, Saudi Arabia, India, and Egypt, and many others, to be frank. So in today's world, we have come across the AI, and it has been pretty much the talk of the town. And especially since the emergence of ChatGPT in late 2022, and exactly November 2022, it has actually boomed and accelerated the integration of AI into our into the broader land ecosystem and landscape, especially in the field of education, which our podcast is going to be centered around. So, as an established language teacher for a number of years, I can tell you with confidence that AI, especially the ChatGPT, with which I have been quite a companion, a very good companion, to be honest, for the past couple of years. I can tell you from my own experience that I become more confident about my use of language. I become more confident as a language teacher because I had to constantly juggle back and forth for a piece of advice and guidance and supervision to all those native English speakers every now and then. And of course, that's a kind of a luxury to actually possess or afford a 24/7 continuous support from native English speakers. But given the blessing of ChatGPT, I forged, such a camaraderie. It's like uncanny. It's unprecedented because, it's never before that humans forged connection and really a productive camaraderie with AI. And a lot of people have been actually anxious and quite agitated about them taking over their professions. But I can tell you from my own experience that there's nothing to worry about because it's not a human to take over your profession or to replace you in any way that you are so much worried about. AI is actually a tool. It's not a human being. It's there to assist us. It's there to support us. It's there to maximize, enhance, increase the productivity, but not replace you all over because it doesn't have that capacity, no matter how augmented and enhanced and upgraded it could be. And people are just, I think, tormenting themselves by myriads of questions about the possible takeover and replacement. Well, I can tell you, as someone who's been in touch with ChatGPT constantly, and I've been, exchanging a lot of questions back and forth. I've been tossing around a lot of questions at ChatGPT, and now I can feel what ChatGPT is. It is just there to help you, to assist you with brainstorming. It is there to help you to provide some insightful ideas or to assist you with your creative work. But it's not there to replace your creative thinking, your emotional intelligence, so to say, your um, your overall being, because every human being is has its own individuality, has its own idiosyncrasy, has its own personality, which can never be emulated because every human being is unique in its own essence. So there's absolutely nothing to worry about. And I was frankly surprised and even shocked when a lot of people around me, especially those of my colleagues, those who are into the language teaching business and industry, they have been bringing up this talk every now and then and saying that, uh, at some point down the line, that we may be replaced by those machines and AIs and robots and virtual tutors. No, no way. Because we've already been living with AI for quite some time, whether knowingly or unknowingly. But the emergence of ChatGPT just highlighted what AI is all about. But before we had it, in as part of our everyday life. For example, the hail writing services. The AI could match you with with a cab driver. So, and it could actually estimate the arrival time. It could actually predict the possible traffic jams and congestions. It could, offer you some alternative pathway, which could be without any congestions, and it could actually streamline the best path for you to reach your destination hassle-free. And that all is the work of AI. So are we worried about what AI is doing for us? Is it in any way replacing the drivers? Yeah, you can actually talk about the autonomous vehicles, but even those autonomous vehicles are not in abundance. So they have not taken over the cab drivers' profession yet. They are there to see what the autonomous vehicles can do for us. And they are there for us. For example, imagine you have to hit the road sometime in the dead of night at 2 a.m. And perhaps that's when it's hard to actually, order a taxi, or maybe there's a long waiting time. So why not use autonomous vehicle, and that can be a bullet that can be a silver bullet that can actually fix our problem. So there are myriads of ways where AI can actually complement our existing solutions and mechanisms and systems, but in no way overlap or prevent or interrupt or cause some disturbance. So I see it as a complementary aiding tool rather than a disturbing uh, uh, novelty.
Thank you so much for bringing that lovely insight. And I'm sure like our audience would be definitely getting more and more absorbed with all the golden things which you're sharing today. We would definitely look to summarize the whole idea finally when we'll conclude. But before that, I just want to know, like you being a linguist, intelligent expert, and you have been, giving a lot of discourse stretching across different parts of the globe. You have been traversing way from, all the way from India to the West, and entire globe you have seen almost, and you have seen the cultural, the background of people, and everybody doesn't react to a particular situation in the same way. So, you find that people who are moderately educated, who may not have too much of awareness of the technology, they sometimes could not understand. Then they may find that, okay, this is a kind of a threat for us. Now, I'm just trying to see from an educator's perspective, what exactly do you think is, of course, keeping in mind that technology is there to augment the teaching process, but do you see that somewhere it is also creating a kind of a deadly disruption which may tomorrow confuse the students, that who is more reliable, a teacher, a human teacher, or it's a chatbot? Because sometimes they are thinking that the conversation which I will have with a chatbot, they will not rebuke me, they will not really catch my mistake, but a teacher can always be criticizing me. So, in one way, because after the pandemic, we have seen that a lot of students are getting habituated with online teaching, and they are preferring that they are going for this online classes where they have very less, physical intervention. People are really not going for an offline class where people might be having, so they do not want themselves to be going under some kind of surveillance, where they want themselves to be at the comfort of their home and get tutored by a chatbot or an AI smart engine, which could be a LLM model, and sometimes it can be a shortcut. And and
Yes.
and and then people might find that, okay, we are basically much safe and a kind of a so-called comfort. So what exactly you find this whole scenario, and as people say, it's a new normal culture. So from an educator, does it really makes you concerned?
Absolutely. You actually brought up some quite thought-provoking ideas that have been resonating with me for quite some time. First, I would like to stress out this point that we should not look at AI, in general as a shortcut for accomplishing any task. It shouldn't be that way, and it's not meant for that. Otherwise, there would be a whole list of ethical issues cropping up. So we should look at it as an assistive intelligence rather than an artificial intelligence. It's there to help us. So why should we be concerned if we've been using so many tons of countless appliances and technology for over a century? For example, take electricity. So look at ChatGPT as the new electricity. Do we have to fear electricity? Electricity has been integrated so deeply into our day-to-day life that it is virtually impossible to even fathom our life without electricity, without power. It's like perhaps the second oxygen, that without electricity, everything comes to a halt. The factories, the computers, the gadgets, the appliances, the household, everything, you just name it. So, do we have to be concerned, or do we have to be fearful about electricity? No way. It's there. It's been there for over a century, assisting us in the best way imaginable. So, we've been exploring so many ways where we could use the power. So, and likewise, similarly, you know, AI is just a novelty. It's still a novelty. It's at its nascent phase. And a lot of people are still coming to learn what the AI or ChatGPT is. Even for ChatGPT, you need to have, really advanced smartphone. Not every smartphone system can support the use of ChatGPT. For example, in my previous iPhone, it wasn't compatible, so I had to switch to iPhone 15 Pro to use it. So that means there is a very wide digital gap across the board on our planet that millions of people are still unaware of what AI is and what ChatGPT is. And definitely we have to breach that gap. And I believe the anxiety, the agitation, the concern that we have on the table about the emergence of AI, it can be attributed to those people who are probably less educated or are less aware of the benefits, the advantages, the pros of what AI could actually bring about. And there are myriads of ways where we could actually harness. There is actually a quote that technology or AI is not going to replace the great teachers, but in the hands of great teachers, technology or AI is going to be transformational. So let's look from that angle. Let's look from that perspective. So are we going to, keep up with the times, keep up with the novelties and changes, or are we just going to sit back and, and become just an old-fashioned or like an old school? So I don't think anybody is willing to stay in the comfort zone for too long without upgrading themselves, without getting in touch with the novelties and the new tech. So, look, a lot of people are quite enthusiastic and quite passionate about the new arrivals of iPhones and all those gadgets and all those tech companies they offer annually. So look at AI as one of those novelties. Why are you so much thrilled about buying a new iPhone, but why are you concerned about the AI embedded in that iPhone? So it has been there and it will be there even more predominantly. You will be using it. You have been actually using it, whether unconsciously, unknowingly, but it'll just come to light. And then, people would start panicking and even feeling anxious about it. But like I said before, there's nothing to panic about it because uh, AI lacks emotional intelligence. At the core of human interaction, there is connection, there is emotion, there is feeling, there is mutual support and cooperation. Those qualities are so much humane that any kind of machine or AI would definitely lack. And they actually struggle to do those qualities authentically. So why are we still concerned about the machines that could actually amplify and augment our day-to-day job and they can increase the productivity? So, you know, imagine when people invented the wheel, were they scared about it? No, the wheel was there to increase the productivity and lessen the burden and the manpower. So AI is here to actually increase the productivity of intelligence. For example, as a teacher, I can tell you there are three things that take up the most time of teachers' daily workload. They are planning, preparation, assessment. And when it comes to AI can do all those three in no time, like this. So when you have a kind of a machine at your disposal that is ready at your command to accomplish a massive undertaking in no time, is it a curse or is it a blessing? I believe, I strongly believe those who are watching us, those who are listening to us, would agree with me in this regard that it's a blessing. It's a blessing that is going to maximize and enhance our productivity, lessen our workload and burden, and actually increase our efficiency. So why are we so concerned about it?
Absolutely. I'm so much aligned with your thoughts, and I'm sure this is something which is really required, that how emotional intelligence can never be replaced by AI. And that is why we should think of how we synergize this EI and AI together. So I'm sure we have learned a lot from you today, and we are coming to an end of this session. So before we go, we just want to ask three takeaways from you, that what exactly you would like to say the students and the professionals who might be watching this session, and they would really not take AI anymore as a worry, rather this as a boon for them, which is going to transform them towards the success, which will be like kind of an assistant intelligence, as you rightly said. So what are those important takeaway, or two or three takeaways which you would like to share with them?
The first and foremost, I want everyone to to take AI as a tool, not a crutch. So those two words are pretty much symbolic. Tool stands for assistance, whereas crutch stands for over-reliance. So, my fellow friends and all the esteemed viewers, I want you to look at AI as an assistant, as a personal aid, as a helper. Is there anything wrong about having a helper who would just be there with you? It's like a personal genie. Back in the days, I think even the emergence of AI may just go back and date back to the antiquities with those fairy tales where there was a genie who could do magic in no second, who could grant wishes in no time. So how about having AI as our personal genie? And then, having a lot of virtual tasks accomplished in no time. I think that's a great blessing that we have to be super thankful and grateful for having it. And the second takeaway is we have to make sure that AI is not interfering with our own skills and capabilities. There has to be uh, a fine borderline between how we use AI and actually how we work on how we build our skill set. So if we are to improve our skill set as a professional, as a human being, AI should assist us just to improve us, just to get the best out of us, and just help us to become our best version. But, it shouldn't be there to cause us a problem of relying solely on AI to sidetrack from our right path, from our righteous path. And then, we might get lost and we might even, put ourselves up against AI as a competitor. But in no way we are competitor with AI, because I can assure you that there are only two kind of competitions that we are involved as a human. The first one is against us. We always strive our best. We always try to excel. We always try to do our best because there is the inner version of us which tells us you could actually take it to the next level. You could actually do it a little better or even far better. So there's a voice that dictates us to go the extra mile. So there's a competition going on between us and our better version. And the second competition is against the people around us. So in no way humans compete with machines or AI. So that is my second takeaway. And as a concluding statement, I would like to tell that AI and humans, they're not going to compete. They're going to work hand in hand. They're going to cooperate. They're going to uh, bring forth accomplishments that were previously unfathomable, that were previously impossible, that were previously inconceivable. So there's going to be a strong alliance between AI and human race to actually um, prosper and flourish and actually solve myriads of problems that have been there for a very a long time. So I'm sure with the emergence of AI, we'll be finally able to solve myriads of problems. And just to scratch the surface, I can tell you, for example, the medical doctors have been struggling to find a cure for cancer, and AI is actually um, is making it feasible, and perhaps in not too distant future, we'll be able to hear the medical doctor saying, "Hey, we finally found the cure," and AI is there to bring us those moments, and that is going to be plenty in stock, I'm sure. Those are my three takeaways.
Wonderful. I'm sure it was an incredible discussion with Mr. Feroz Akbarov, and I'm sure like our audience who have really got a lot of enthusiasm and interest in listening the whole discussion so far. And we have also learned that how exactly AI can be a wonderful companion for us in the coming times. And maybe it's not a distant future when we could see that we can really enhance our overall learning phase more with the artificial intelligence, with the upcoming LLMs and the beauty of AI. And we should think that EI and AI should be going hand in hand, as rightly mentioned by Firaz. Firaz, I'm so thankful to you for joining this wonderful
My pleasure.
podcast. And I also want to tell my audience that we are upcoming with a wonderful event, that is EI to AI Summit on 14th of June 2025 in the city of Bengaluru, India, where Mr. Firaz will be with us to share his golden insight on this wonderful summit.
I'll have my
So
fingers crossed.
so we are looking forward to see you in India, and I'm
My
sure
pleasure.
like we'll be organizing many such talk shows where our audience will be definitely benefited with your golden takeaways, and we look forward to continue this journey of conversation of EITI. Thank you so much. Have a great
Thank you
day.
very much. It was my pleasure.